28. I was born and raised in the DMV, specifically the people. Arlington, Alexandria, Woodbridge. So true Nova girly.
And do you identify as Habesha?
If somebody asks me if I'm Habesha, I say yes. But if somebody asks me what is my ethnicity, I say Eritrean. Because I feel like if somebody asks me, are you Habesha? And I say, no, I'm Eritrean, they'll be like, we're one. And I'm like, okay, that's
the only reason?
Yeah, I'm just
So like if you see someone who you think is like quote unquote Habesha, like how would you like ask them to identify?
I was just like, are you Eritrean or are you Ethiopian? Like, but you know, a lot of times people have mixed families, so it's like a hot topic recently. So sometimes if I feel unsure, I'll ask also, are you Habesha? Dude, I think I had a different experience. Like my parents were very much speaking Tigrinya in the house, but it was kind of like a give and take kind of relationship. So I was teaching them English and they were teaching me Tigrinya, but I wasn't really acknowledging it. I was more focused on learning the English in school. Even when it came to going out to the market, we lived right down the street from Skyline. Like my whole life, it was just go to Maharaba Market and grab what you needed to. It was never a question. I've always had like that community around us, and been any wedding, it's Habesha, and it would be every year, maybe twice a year. Traveled for weddings, so I was very involved with my parents, but I never had that set of like friendships for me. My closest Eritrean friends are my cousins. That's it. Until I got to college, I feel like it was a good mix, but definitely like there was not a lot of Eritreans or Ethiopians. Like,
Do you remember the first time you heard the word Habesha?
maybe some like on Facebook, like back in 2008, 2009, you know, when they were making all those pages and stuff.
That was the first time?
I think so.
Did you ask your parents what it meant, or like were you confused?
No, I saw the flags right after and I forget.
But like social media taught you to use the word.
Yeah, because a lot of things were like, Habesha baddies or like, I'm serious.
But like if you hadn't heard the term before, but you're seeing your flag associated with it, like you didn't have any questions, like what is this?
I can physically see in my head the Facebook page. Like that's what I'm reading it in my head, but like I can't remember if I've heard it before that.
So did your parents use the word at all?
No. But to be fair, they only spoke Tigrinya like to us, and then they spoke Bilen to each other. So if they were using something I didn't know, I just chalked it up to being advanced Tigrinya. Like so, I didn't even know that I was Bilen until like I was older. So I didn't really know until I went back home, which is around that time of Facebook.
Until you went back home?
Yeah.
To Eritrea?
Yeah.
That's the same time you found the social media?
Yeah,
That's a lot. Okay, before we get into that, how was like Eritrean culture and tradition taught to you growing up?
Family based and religion based. The people that we saw outside for every birthday, every barbecue, celebration, every holiday were the same people that we saw at church. That's our clique.
Dang.
Yeah.
The church clique.
Yeah.
Did you go to Orthodox church?
No, I'm Catholic.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of Catholic and Bilen people?
They're either Catholic or Muslim.
And like, did your parents like know these people from back home, or like?
Some of them they knew from back home. They might have grown up together like in a village next to them. And then when they came here, they just continued, hey, we're neighbors, let's continue to be neighbors. And kind of kept that together.
And you said you went back home.
Mm-hmm.
So like at what age did you go back?
I was 13.
And what was that like?
Spent like 2.5 weeks there. It's fun. I just stayed I'm a village girl, so
In the village?
we stayed in the village.
Yeah, did you spend any time in Asmara, or did you go straight to Kota?
I think they wanted to acclimate me. So we stayed like 2 days in Asmara in the beginning to see our family there, and then we went to Keren.
Are both of your parents like historically from Keren?
Yeah, they're from Ashara and Dada, which is about like less than 15 miles away from Keren. Yeah, it's either Catholic or Muslim, but on our family, majority are Catholic.
Oh, and you have some Muslim mixed. Is
Like
there
farther?
like you're not mixed at all? You're just Bilen.
Yep. I can show you my brother's ancestry results.
No, you're fine. It's just that like I have to ask because some people have been like, oh yeah, like this one girl was like, I'm half Harari, half Eritrean. But then she's like, but actually my Eritrean father also has some Tigray and some Amhara in him. And I'm like, girl, that's a lot. So I was like, I just need to ask.
No, 100%.
Okay, so then growing up, do you feel like you went to like events that there was like a wide range of Eritreans, or do you feel like the events that you went to were like Bilen specific?
I think there was majority like mixed, like one of them. They always do homage, but they
What's
would be
Homesh?
mixed. Like they would always have one or two songs that were blend, but the majority would be like majority Tigrinya, but there was also like some Tigray and Tigray as well. Like it was just, sometimes they marry Ethiopian.
Like, I guess, like, what type of air trans places were you in growing up? Like, for Independence Day, like, what would you be doing?
I was at home.
Like, do you feel like your parents were involved in the community outside of your family?
Yeah, we used to go to every festival. Back when it was at Shore Place Arena.
Do you speak Bilen?
I can not no.
Like, Paco.
I know very few words.
I mean, do you feel strongly about that identity and that aspect of being Eritrean for you? Like, how do you understand your ethnic as it relates to your nationality?
I wish I could speak Bilen. I feel like our group, my age group, doesn't really. But I do feel like it'll be easier for me to transition from Tigrinya to Bilen once I know the words, because even if I do go back home to speak with my like cousins and stuff, they do know Tigrinya, so it'll be easier for me to like navigate that transition. If I ever wanted to know Bilen, I would have to know Tigrinya to go back there. But I do find it important to know at least some of the language because I'm listening to the music.
Yeah.
It's not just a beat, it's how they say it, what they're saying.
Kind of like talking more about like more internal dynamics in the community growing up, like when it comes to beauty standards or like what Habesha people look like. What did you see growing up? And I'm interested to see or hear if like what you saw in the United States or what was being like presented to you in the United States was similar to what was being presented back home, or if you feel like the beauty standards are different.
I feel like the one thing in terms of beauty standards, like the men that has remained consistent is like they love long hair. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I try to cut my hair, they're like, no, don't do that. I had to get permission from my dad to cut my hair. Definitely when you go back home, they have their hair long. Even if it's in braids, like their hair is long. They do such a great work at their hair salon. They're all same with that working. And they love the clean look, like barely any makeup, but they don't know that you're wearing makeup. And I feel like that translates. I don't know if that's just all men or just like the men that are here and the men that are there. My mom calls me Dumu all the time. And I'm like,
why?
Yeah, because I'm doing my face. But it's like a pet name. It's like Dumu. And I'm like, I'm just putting lip gloss on. Oh. Yeah, I would probably say like those are,
no,
I mean,
hair
in the eyes of men, but in terms of women.
Hair consistently comes up in these conversations.
Yeah.
You even mentioned Habesha baddies.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, I was gonna be like, well, on the website, like it's very much like very thin, very light skinned, very bouncy curly hair, big eyes. Like that's the stereotype that.
That's like online, but do you feel like that's been like communicated in your upbringing or in your reality as well?
Ironically, people never assumed that I was Eritrean first. It wasn't like a like outside of the community. They always thought that I was like a Spanish girl. Outside looking in, like they didn't perceive me as Eritrean, and then now, like I guess I have that look. I don't know, like maybe my eyes, but I feel like my eyes are small.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. It's like there is like this stereotype, but then like at the same time, like you, me, and Siona look completely different, but people can tell we're all East African.
Yeah, so within the community, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a few, and then you like confirm it. I don't think my nose is typical. I don't have like either of my parents' nose. My mom has it like up more.
No, right?
Yeah, and then my dad just has like a bigger. Everybody says forehead, right? Like,
yeah, everyone says forehead.
Is it like the forehead to chin ratio? I don't know. Like I feel like me and my first cousin, like looking at us, like you would never assume that we're cousins. We don't really look alike, but that's my first cousin. Like that's blood. We're diverse. I was just so.
Your family? So then, like, once you got to college, like, how did your community expand?
It's funny because I was in the library for the first 2 years, didn't do nothing, and then my second year, I was like, let me go see what this EESA is about. Met a couple of cool peeps, and I'm still friends with them all, very close friends. And from there, I was just opened up, really. Like, I've never met so many Habesh people after joining it. And I became community development chair. I went to UMD for events. I feel like they were different backgrounds that came together for one purpose, which was to like integrate their culture into them. It's like they purposely came to these meetings, they purposely came to these events to just get a taste of their heritage, even if it was for free food or good music, fashion show, whatever the case would be. Good time.
How do you think being Habesha like impacted your relationship with other Africans?
My best friend is Kenyan, so like we make the joke that like the next time I go back home, I have to stop by her home and we have to do a switch. She has that same kind of pressure. If that makes any sense. Of gotta make it, and don't be surprised for if you have a surprise visit from each other's families.
Oh my gosh. Do you like live alone or your family visits you? Or?
I live with my family now, but like we used to live together, so like our parents would stop by. And,
Oh, y'all got each other.
yeah, I was like, listen, it's fine. That's my mom's. It was nice to have that like cultural relationship. But
Yeah. Did you meet her in college?
I did. I met her through a mutual friend.
Do you think that they also were like exposed to Eritreans at all, or were you like people's first introduction to Eritrea?
I think they had the same thing with me where their religion was also their like foundation for their culture here, and they might have been more exposed during college, but now that they're hip, they know. It's very easy for them.
That's interesting that you say foundation of culture, because obviously Catholics are a minority in Eritrea. So like, did you feel that at all when you were practicing religion or when you were doing community events?
No, I don't see that big of a difference if what we believe in is somewhat similar, and the holidays that we celebrate are somewhat similar. Because I celebrate every holiday.
That's what I was
showing
gonna
out for
ask.
Eid too. Don't know people. We are all inclusive.
No, I
over
was
here.
gonna ask. It's like, because like I don't know. Like obviously you're also diaspora, so like you can speak only from your experience. But like as a Bilen person, as a Catholic, like those are two minorities. And then when you think about like Orthodox Christianity, it's so dominant.
Yeah.
And obviously like Eritrea goes by the Gregorian calendar, so I guess like we don't have as much tie to that as in Ethiopia, but we do have like our Orthodox holidays. So like, would you say your family celebrates those holidays generally as like a cultural thing, or is it like that's not really our business type of
It's
attitude?
a cultural thing. Like we do the second Christmas like again now we will, but we don't do that many fasts. We just have the one big fast.
Like I guess how close do you feel like to different identities, such as like being Black, being African, being Eritrean, being Bilen? Like how would you kind of rate, not rate, but like your proximity to each identity?
That's hard. So like you really want me to rate it?
No. I
Oh.
said, that's why I said don't rate, but like.
Oh, I thought you said rate.
No. I said rate initially, and that was my bad. But I mean, just like it's gonna change depending on the context you're in too. So you can think about that. But just like, how would you self-describe basically? I'm not trying to put
Yeah.
words in your mouth, but I'm like trying to
Yeah.
ask like, how do you
Yeah.
self-identify generally?
I feel strongly associated with all of them, but first and foremost is like Eritrean, because that's if I'm answering somebody, that's what they would understand the most. Because like when you say you're an
And I
Eritrean-American,
usually would say Eritrean-American because they don't feel like it's representative to Sam Eritrean.
right? Like it just means different. Like
Do you feel like you grew up with any anti-Bothness in your family?
no, I just think that they prefer to keep to themselves. Like that group that I told you about, like that's just really it. Not even the church, but like like my aunts and uncles, like even the ones I call my aunts and uncles, they're not really my aunts and uncles. They're like adopted into the family.
Yeah.
And they want to just keep it going, and so they'll keep adding like more people into the group that'll keep it on alive.
So then, like, when you think about like getting married, do you feel like they have any expectations on that, or are they pretty open-minded?
I actually tried having my parents arrange marriage.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
They did really well.
They did well?
They did very well, and it just our timelines didn't work out. But otherwise, it was a good 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a Bilen guy?
Yeah.
And like, was it diaspora? Like, what was the setup? Like, was it giving Indian matchmaking, or was it like your parents were doing the matchmaking?
Family friends, they just asked, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? Let's see what you have to offer me." And it worked out.
Wow.
But
So
then
that's like very.
was a lot of
That's very
pressure.
wholesome. Like your parents were very involved in that process.
It was they were too involved. So then
Oh,
we ended up
okay.
telling them that we broke up, and then continued dating for another year and a half.
Oh wow. So you could just like have the pressure off of you.
Yeah, precisely.
Wow.
Now my parents, like my dad, doesn't really care, and then obviously my mom's like, no, like I prefer this. And I'm like, okay, mom, but I did ask, do you prefer them to be Eritrean? Does that matter more to you
Right.
than them being Catholic?
Oh, and what did they say?
They're still thinking about it.
I'm screaming. We don't.
But do you want me married?
And do you have any siblings?
I do. I have an older brother and sister.
Oh, your baby.
Yeah, I know. I'm 9 years late.
Then are your siblings still in the area?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the community has grown?
Yeah. Yeah, they're heavy now. Yeah, it's heavy in Woodbridge now. Before, you would just have to go to
Eritreans
Alexandria.
or Ethiopians or both?
Both. Because before it would be like, okay, you hit Seminary Towers, you know Seminary Towers. That's the Southern Towers. Everybody was living there. Skyline was right next. That was the base.
That was the base. And also you just said Eritreans and Ethiopians. You just clarified the definition. Can you describe like how you would define the word?
Eritreans and Ethiopians, but I know that there is like a distinction of which the high or the low landers. I don't. Habesha is fine with me.
And do you like know the history of the word at all?
I think it was meant for more of the highland speakers. Is that right? Okay. There's only specific areas of it.
But that's like the extent of your knowledge. To your knowledge, like, do you feel like Bilen people are part of that?
I don't think so. I think they're lowlanders.
But then that's to impact your relationship to the word.
No, because I'm a little bit minority, so I'm not gonna like take offense to something.
But then again, like going back to the use, like you would say you use it when convenient.
Yeah, I use it when convenient. That's correct.
Do you feel like your family uses it?
No.
No, not even today. Like with the growth of the community, when you're out and about, like your parents would still say like I am Eritrean.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I feel I'm trying to think like if they saw somebody that they thought I know, no, they would definitely be like, oh, are they or Habesha Kunki? Like, you know what I mean?
What's a
Like,
Habesha?
yeah, so they would use it for other.
So they do use it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like thinking. I'm like, okay,
No, yeah,
if they
no.
see other people in public trying to figure out, then yeah, I think they would use it, but not to be like, I am Habesha.
Do you feel like it is a neutral term, or do you feel some type of way about it?
I don't feel some type of way.
All right, so you're like proudly Habesha. That's interesting.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't feel like some type of way if somebody comes up to me and asks me if I'm Habesha, but I'm not.
But your face just say you.
I was like,
Why wouldn't you be proudly Habesha? This is the disconnect that I'm trying to understand with you. Because that reaction was like, bitch, don't call me that.
No, it was more like we just had this whole conversation about me being Eritrean. And then they're like, so you're Habesha? And I'm like, no.
But it sounds like then, from what you just said,
I use it as a
like,
clarification.
but
That
it
makes
sounds like from what you literally just said that you feel like it's associated with being Ethiopian. Because you just said we had a whole conversation about being Eritrean, and then you're gonna ask me if I'm Habesha. Like, why would that be offensive?
because I use it Habesha as like a clarifying, if that makes any sense.
No.
Like I've never used it as like.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
Can you clarify? Like,
But I'm not saying you should or shouldn't.
No,
I'm
maybe-
just saying
maybe
it's interesting that you would ask someone, "Are you Habesha?" But like,
maybe I'm just lazy, and I'm
it's
just
like when someone asks, "Are you Habesha?" Like, do you feel some type of way?
if I have time, I'll say I'm Eritrean.
If you have time.
Okay, if a Habesha person is asking me, am I Habesha? And I say I'm Eritrean, they understand what I mean. If it's a non-Habesha person saying, are you Habesha? And I say I'm Eritrean, they're gonna be like, what's Eritrean? I don't wanna have to explain to you where Eritrea is. Maybe that's the distinction. Who's asking me the question? Like even my best friend Brittany Ethiopian, like she speaks as much Tigrinya as I do.
Is she Tigray?
No, she just has like family members that also speak Tigrinya. So like she'll speak Tigrinya with me, she'll speak Tigrinya with my parents, you know. She helps me with Tigrinya school to read the letters and stuff. So like I never had like a separation. Because that friendship happened at the same time that I was really starting my journey into having to say your own identity. You don't really have to say or find your identity until you get to college.
That's beautiful. I don't know if you've had other experience, because my experience in the DMV is always, do you speak Amharic? I think that's what gets me is like,
Finish.
I feel like you can ask me from Habesha, you can ask me from Ethiopian, but I do feel like it's offensive to just say like, do you speak Amharic? Like straight.
Yeah.
With Amharic, it always ends up coming down to like, are you Ethiopian? And I'm like, no. And then they're like, what are you, Eritrean? But we're the same. I feel like that's always the rabbit hole I go down.
Do you know how many languages spoken in Ethiopia? It's too much.
It is
Okay.
a lot.
Same thing with Eritrea. Like, I don't need to know every single language under the book. Half is enough. No, I'm kidding. The only thing that really changed since I was growing up was my friends.
Like meeting Habesha friends.
Yeah. Even you saw like in New York, like I would have never would have thought. I feel like Eritrean has been more on the forefront probably within the last like 6 years. I don't know if that's because of Nipsey, like people started paying attention and then that caused like conversations on Twitter, and then the war happened, and then we're all trying to still find like our place that we can call home. So we're going out and creating these communities. We're creating these stores so we can gain quicker access to the little things that we can get from it.
Because, you know, in like DC, for example, like you can't really go anywhere without seeing like Fidel, for example. Like, do you feel like that's becoming true in Virginia? Are you seeing it more? Or like, are there Fidel, like is
You letters, yeah.
or like, do you feel like you're seeing more churches pop up? Like, do you feel like there are other markers of like the community growing?
Stores, even when you're walking, like when you are driving and I can see people walking and you see like the grandma with her nets on her like afternoon walk. So I'm like, oh, should I ask her if she wants to, if I should drop her off? And like, I can't. How would I talk to her? Because I can't.
Did you go to festival this year?
No, I don't know where it was.
When was the last time you went?
Like 2016, 2017.
Why did you stop by?
I finally had money to go places for my birthday, which was always the weekend.
And I guess like with your best friend, like do you feel like you guys exchange a lot when it comes to like Ethiopian and Eritrean culture and tradition?
With
With your best friend? You guys exchange a lot? Do you find that you share a lot?
we do share a lot, yeah. I feel like I lived with her for a little bit too. When I came out of there, was Kitfo. Granted, it was leblek. Okay, it was a little bit on fire. It was cooked a little bit, you know. I was like, I can't eat this. I'm so sorry. I also dated an Ethiopian for like 9 months.
Okay, and how was that?
Yeah, but that also brought me to the whole like Kitfo thing. Like they would make Kitfo. I'm like, no, just throw it on there for me, a little bit on the fire, and then I'll eat it. But I won't eat into this.
Obviously we do share a lot, right? And there's a reason behind this word. It's like meant to signify like the unity or commonalities. Like what would you find that you share the most with her, and like what would you find that's like very different from your experience with her?
I think our sense for community, cousins that grew up like your brother and sister, like she knows who my god sisters are. I know who her best friends are. Like it's just very much like mixed together, and I respect them. Things are different. I don't know. It's actually kind of crazy. Like both of our parents have the same type of jobs, different hotels, but same. Like you know what I mean? I was just like, this is actually crazy. So we kind of grew up around the same thing. My dad's a taxi driver and like a banquet manager, and then my mom's a housekeeper. So they did like kind of similar hospitality stuff. And you know, had a sibling, grew up in the suburbs. Like it was just like similar things. And then you know, we had also differences. But she knew like what I had to go like grow. Always trying to be like the golden child. Being the youngest is also like whatever they messed up. Whatever my sister didn't do, whatever my brother didn't do, they expected me to do it.
Like what?
Like get married.
So it sounds like you're kind of ambivalent with the word Habesha.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take it personally if people use it, but it's not something that I would actively define myself as unless asked.
Okay, and then like do you know Eritreans or Ethiopians who don't identify with the term in your life?
They're probably ambivalent as well, so it's just like such a prominent word in songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Got Drake saying it. Like,
And do you know like people from different religions or ethnic backgrounds? Not know, but like yeah, like non-Christians or non-Bilen, non-Tigrinya folks. When I say no, I mean like people, yeah, like that you would consider a friend at some point in
I
time.
know Tigray, Kunama.
Where did you meet Tigray and Kunama people?
I went to Seattle, had a group of friends there, mutual friend in common, linked up, and then when they came to DC, they brought their cousin, and I was like, hey.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people I've talked to have like more like malleable identities. A lot of people are mixed or they've moved a lot, but like you're very much like
I'm here.
I'm Eritrean, I'm Bilen. I was born and raised in Virginia. And I feel like I have a lot of the content that I need. I guess like, do you have any like last thoughts or anything you want to share on like the word as you understand it, as it relates to your identity?
I'm trying to get closer to your identity so that like your culture, your language, so that if you feel like you're going outwards, you know, outside of your norm, it doesn't feel like you're losing yourself.
Cool.
That's one of my fears.
Is being ungrounded?
No, like if I don't know like the Eritrean language or the Bilen language, if I'm not like in that culture and I marry somebody who's not, or I'm friends with somebody that's not, and I'm like very closely attached, am I just gonna lose that? Like I don't have anybody to speak to. I don't have anybody to share that language with, to practice with. So I have to be solid in myself.
And do you feel like that comes from yourself, from your family, from being Eritrean?
I think it's become from a woman, from mother tongue.
You said the mother carries it.
Yeah.
So you're
Because she's gonna hear, or they're gonna hear me. I'm talking to you.
actually also like, you want to ask, like, did your parents spend any time in Asmara, or were they both like born and raised in Qatar?
The outskirts of Karen, yeah, born and raised, yeah, and then they went to Sudan. They met in Sudan.
Oh, they immigrated here together?
Yeah, with my
Sudan?
sister. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. Hashtag Eritrean.